Yay! We're back.
Yes. We're back. We have our guest for today canceled on us at the last minute. Um, I know she's having surgery, so it's not like
Well, that's an outrageous reason.
honestly. And so I understand that there's a reason behind it. Um, the she, bless her heart, she's the daughter of Woodrow Derenberger, who is the fellow who met Indrid Cold and got the pancakes from the UFO people. All my UFO friends will remember that story. And we wish her great good health going forward. And I'm sure she'll be well. So, on that note, we're basically going to be talking today about the paranormal, spooky stuff that's happened to us.
I was thinking, I didn't get a chance to mention it to you on the pre show
Yeah.
thing. Why don't we talk about scary movies?
Oh, excellent idea.
Since
Excellent.
tomorrow is Halloween,
There you go. Stuff to watch, stuff not to watch, that kind of thing.
and today is the Day of the Dead.
Yep, it is indeed. And it's also
Now,
the birthday of our second president, who's been dead for a long time.
see, I have marigold,
Uh huh. Oh, yeah, you do.
and I have candles. So I'm
Excellent.
all set to set up one for my late wife.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing a little thing for Mink online because I can't get around too well. But Mink is our little sister Melinda who passed 2 years ago, and our older sister who also passed before then would have been uh, older tomorrow on
She
Halloween.
would have been tomorrow. She would have been. Hang on, I'm going to be. She would have been 77
Ah,
tomorrow because she
and
was 10 years older than me.
yeah, and we have birthdays on holidays in our family. And I was born on Christmas Day. Pam was born on Halloween. Our niece Laura was born on New Year's Day, and our grandmother was almost born on the 4th of July. But it's a weird thing. We don't know how that happens, but it does. And then 3 days after Halloween, or 4 days after Halloween, my brother's birthday is.
Which is frequently election day.
Yeah, and he's going to be 35.
Yes, this is the this is the 32nd anniversary of my
Of your
35th
35th
birthday.
birthday.
That's what Jack Benny used to say.
Yes. Yeah.
Jack Benny, but he was 29.
Yeah. He was a very funny fellow to those young people watching who
So many people I mentioned him to have who?
I know.
Bob Hope, Jack Benny, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, who?
Yeah, I know. And don't even get into Buster Keaton and
Oh yeah,
Laurel and
those
Hardy.
Charlie Chaplin,
Yeah,
they're
all the greats. The if you don't know who they are, look them up. Watch some TV. It'll be good for you. The Anyway, that's and very soon it will be my niece's my niece his daughter's birthday, and so I think that's everybody for the month of November who's still among us. We
nope.
lost Bev and my grandfather. Our,
Allison's birthday is November 21st.
yeah, I
So
know. I was just
okay.
mentioning that.
Oh, I didn't hear you say her.
I said my niece, your daughter.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the and our grandfather would be born this month as well as our um, next month.
Yep,
So
he
that's
was born the day after me,
yeah,
except many, many years earlier.
yeah, quite a few.
If Poppy was alive, he would be 122 years old
There you go.
come November the 4th.
Well, he's still with us,
Yep.
and of that I have no doubt. And our grandmother was born in October. So. Anyway, onward. Scary movies. What are some you have seen recently, Mark?
Well, I don't really like the current crop of scary movies. Most of them are very derivative.
Yeah,
They're all based like some of that newest Jeepers Creepers. That
yeah.
thing was horrendous. You
Yeah.
know, anybody that would spend the money to make that, I don't know. So I tend to go for movies that were shot with the cameras made at my company.
Oh, there you go. And that company is.
Red Digital Cinema. I don't know if anybody that follows me because they follow the podcast, I always repost Red Digital Cinema's posts. I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah.
Red Digital Cinema has a Facebook group, and they post promotional things, and then I try to help them along by reposting it. So,
I
but
must admit, I do not follow you because of the podcast.
thank
I
you.
follow you because we've been related for like 63 years, 62 years. So.
Yep,
Anyway.
just a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, they don't even know what horror is. It seems like sometimes. You know the movie that scared the hell out of me? The biggest, most frightening film this year was Fall.
I never saw it.
It's a film about two young ladies who decide to climb to the top of a water tower for various and sundry stupid reasons. And
One of them falls off.
no, but
Oh,
there are circumstances, but they're up there 200 feet above ground. And to anybody who's terrified of heights like I am, I wouldn't even go out on the observation platform on the Twin Towers. I stayed at the little cubicle thing. And but
hey, hang on just a second. Yes? Connor knocked on the door but went away.
oh, okay. And let's see. But Fall is genuinely. There are some problems in the film, but in whole it keeps your interest and scared the piss out of it. It was.
You know what? I'll tell you, you can come back with your comments. The two scariest scenes in a movie that actually made me jump out of my chair.
Yeah.
One of them's kind of silly, but it scared me. In the movie with Christina Ricci, Casper,
Yeah.
the scene where the kid crashes into the gate with his bicycle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you're not expecting that. All of a sudden there's this, and it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And the Amityville Horror, the scene with the cat.
Yeah.
Where the shade goes up and the cat, like, screeches.
Yeah.
Yep, those are the two scariest scenes.
Jump scares will get you every time. Well, the best horror movie I think I've seen this year is Nope,
Oh,
which
I saw Nope.
I liked it a lot.
It
I,
was okay.
yeah, it's everybody's one way or the other with it, and but in my opinion, it was very innovative, at least so far as the usual crop of UFO things go. They actually thought through the rendering of the UFO, and
Now, they I noticed that they commented and said that this was really a new way of looking at UFOs, that they could be living creatures instead of ships. Did you ever see Encounter at Farpoint?
yes, yeah, the mark. I know
That
it's
was
nothing
exactly
new.
that was exactly what Encounter at Farpoint was.
Yes,
They looked like ships, but they were living
living
creatures.
creatures. We've talked about the possibility of that
Yeah.
because these UAPs, these Tic Tacs, act like they're sentient beings. So the there was nothing new in terms of the field in Nope, but I thought the actual visual rendering of it was innovative and very different from what you'd see in a lot of films. Um, as for old movies, I have to go back to The Exorcist and The Exorcist 3, which unfortunately should be called Legion, which is not Exorcist 2, which is a horrible movie, and don't bother. But I thought both those films had merit.
The first one absolutely,
Yeah,
but now the Birds.
yeah,
That's an excellent
scared the
horror
hell out of
film.
me.
Yeah, I mean the Birds was now a recent film that scared me was I'm not sure the title of it. It's that zombie movie where everybody's in the mall
Oh,
and they're trying to
everybody's in
keep
the mall
they're in a
zombie.
mall and they're trying to keep the zombies out. And there's they show at the beginning they show these people living in this real nice little neighborhood, and they have a little girl next door skating. And they get up in the morning, and she looks over, and the little girl from next door is standing in the doorway. And she says, "Well, honey, what are you doing here?" And she runs in and jumps on the husband and bites his throat out.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was like ah.
it's scary. It
I
is.
haven't seen any more zombie movies because of that.
Yeah, they. I tell you one movie I had been avoiding seeing. Well, it's not out yet. It's the new Ray Fiennes film, or as friends of mine may know him, Ralph Fiennes. Uh,
Ralph Penis?
I have a friend with a podcast about movies, and she insists on calling him Ralph Fiennes. His name is Rafe Fiennes. He has
I
one of
think I've
those
heard that
weird.
name before.
Yeah, he was in Schindler's List. He's been in a lot of stuff. He won. He got an Academy Award nomination for Schindler's List. However, the right nominee won that year, Tommy Lee Jones. Anyway, the Ray Fiennes plays a chef in this film that honestly looked very much like it was going to be about cannibalism. And thankfully, it's not. I have a friend of mine who named Megan who reviews movies, and she got to see an advance uh, thing of it, and it is not. So She said it's basically about class warfare. So, anyway, there shall not be any flesh eating of the human variety in this film. So thank God. Anyway, let's see what else have I seen lately. I Dark Shadow simply isn't scary in any version. Um, and most particularly the new Johnny Depp version. Um, I'm sorry to my friends who like it, and the you know, really the old ones are the best. There's a film called let's see, what is it? Um, I can't remember it, but I saw it on one of those, the free apps that you can get and watch a lot of old horror movies. And my husband loves those. So. Um, it's one about a ghost, and I can't think of the title, so telling you the storyline would be pointless because all ghost movies are essentially alike. But that scared me. So, if you can't afford the big channels, go over and find you some horror science fiction apps and watch those. And stay away from anything with rabbits. And you'll be safe. Yeah. How about you, Mark? What are some of your old back in the day movies?
Well, one that back when they started, HBO used to give a special warning for this film, and that's Reanimator.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Now, it isn't realistic gore. I mean, you can tell it's done with, special effects, but it's pretty gory.
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I mean, the one scene where the guy's intestines reach out and wrap around the guy's throat and strangle him, that's
yeah,
pretty.
yeah, yeah.
Now, everybody likes the guy that played Reanimator,
Oh yeah,
Jeffrey or Jeremy Combs.
yeah.
Here's a Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, I think.
He's the guy that played Wayoon on Deep Space Nine,
Right.
and he played a lot of other things too. But
I will look it up just to be sure. And the good news is the cost of my insurance is going down. Let's see. And the bad news is I'm going to be 63.
I wish I was.
Oh, you're you're never going to get old.
I hope not.
Well, you will get old, but you're never going to get old.
Okay.
All right. Jeffrey Combs. Yeah.
Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah.
And he played a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Well, any weird actor really, writes their own ticket in Hollywood. I mean, who the heck would have thought the actor who played Vincent on Beauty and the Beast, whose name escapes me, would have had a career? I mean, honestly. And he's not what you'd call screen ready. But he certainly has done very well for himself, just playing unusual characters. And, thankfully we're getting to the time where it's not just a factor of good looking actors getting parts. It's, or being able to, I mean, look at the young lady, I can't think, I know it's something like Liz or Luz or Laz or something, who climbed up there with the crystal flute at her concert and played it. And by God, God love her, she's standing up there in an outfit I never would have thought about when I was, if I was 102 pounds. And she was up there and she was proud. And, you know, so life is getting better for us unusual people. Now, if we can just afford it, we'll be happy.
No kidding.
But,
I'm sure all of you are going through the same things we are.
oh, yeah, they are.
I mean, my water bill is through the ceiling. My water bill is 100 times bigger than it was last year.
Yep. Same thing here. And, I think part of it is we're in California. And,
But but what people don't realize is that we are not drinking the water that comes from California.
no,
We are drinking water that comes from the California aqueduct, which comes from up north. And the vast majority of our water comes from the ice pack up in the Sierras
yeah,
around Lake Tahoe. A lot of that water comes from there. And they've got tons of snow up there already.
yeah, yeah. And
So
so why they
that
yeah,
we shouldn't be having to pay this kind of price for water.
no.
And our electric bill, I don't even want to tell you. But it's very high.
I think they're trying to force us all into solar. But, I mean, I have to admit, Larry and I are looking at different. We'll buy. We're not going to rent. That's
Yeah, it's better to spend. It's better to lay out the 20 grand and put it in and pay for it yourself, because then you get all the savings right from the start.
exactly, and that's the only way to do it. And when you live in a desert area like we do, it's well, all of LA really is a desert. We, some parts of us are more planted up than others, but it's getting to the time where we're going to have to start all embracing alternative energies and things like that. But that's okay.
And
That's interesting.
happy Halloween, Jessica. Thank you for your
Yes,
comment.
happy Halloween, Jessica. I'm sorry. At I'm getting old. What can I say? But the important thing to remember also, since we're talking horror things, high bills and $7 Big Macs and things.
You know, what I always preferred myself when it comes to horror films,
Yeah,
I liked films that were not possible. You know what I mean? I don't want a movie about some guy that might be hiding in my closet with
yeah,
an ice pick. I don't really want to watch a movie about that. I would rather watch Godzilla or King Kong or The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms or something like that. Or, Dracula, Frankenstein. Things that just aren't real.
yeah,
But you can divorce yourself from the reality and watch the movie, and they're fun. But I just don't care for the stuff that's patterned after something that could really happen, somebody that could really be there to kill you. I don't want to think about that.
yeah. I mean, I like it. I like psychological horror. Larry just loves Godzilla and King Kong and all of that. I like, you know, to give you a good example, the Nicole Kidman ghost movie, The Others. That's very good.
That was very good.
Yeah, it was.
It had an interesting twist.
Yep. And
The first movie that M. Night Shyamalan guy did. What was it? The Village.
Oh, The Village, yeah.
That was really good because I didn't expect that at all.
I like M. Night Shyamalan films. The only one I don't like is one everybody else likes. Uh,
Well, I really haven't cared for any of his films outside of his first one. So,
yeah. Well, The Sixth Sense to me, I knew going in. I mean, I was sitting there and I said to Larry, well, the twist can't be that he's dead because that's obvious. And Larry at the end goes, yeah, thanks. Well, I'm sorry. I thought it was obvious. But, you know, what can I
well,
say?
you could tell that was the case when his wife never talked to him.
Yeah, she never looked at him once.
She never looked at him, never talked to him, never touched him. So it was obvious something was going on.
Well, he rolls back on the bed, his eyes go up, and the next thing he's looking at is a kid who can see dead people. Hello? Red flag. It's,
Well, they had a few movies kind of like that, or few TV series that were kind of like that.
yeah.
Like that one, Medium.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that was okay. I liked the
Yeah, no,
people that were in it. You know,
Patricia Arquette and yeah.
the guy that played the husband, I forget his name.
Yeah. But
But
I must say, if you're into psychological horror, there's a very good miniseries on Amazon. The title of which, of course, eludes me. It Sissy Spacek and J.K. Morris are in it. And it's quite spooky. It's not really scary, but it holds your interest. It's very well done. And I highly recommend it if you're not into jump scares and intestines coming through the screen. Yeah. But or Godzilla for that matter. But
well, Connor is
yeah.
going to be Mario again.
Oh, good. Okay.
3 years in a row.
Hey, that's okay.
He loves Mario, so he's Mario. And Georgia is a princess kitty cat.
Oh, cool.
we
Please make your own.
we couldn't. Well, no. What we did is we bought her a witch kitty cat.
Uh-huh.
She's not going to wear the witch hat. She's going to wear a tiara like a princess. So therefore, she will be a princess kitty cat.
Kitty cat.
So,
Yeah.
my granddaughter, by the way, is let's see, she was born in. Let's see, Connor. I'm trying to think. Connor was born March 1st, 2013, and she was born 2015, April 22nd, 2015.
Yeah.
So her next birthday,
2015, she's
7, 8, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Connor's 10, so she's 8.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, my grandson, was born in May. So we got March, April, May. And
So what's Kenny going to be for Halloween?
he's going to be one of those, the green, and they have little Batman type outfits.
Oh, no, not a Teletubby.
No. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, what are they called? Just a minute. I can't look it up because I don't know what they're called. It's some little, it starts with a P. Anyway, he's got his costume all set up. And the babies are going as babies. So, And people have been asking. The babies are doing incredibly well. They're
They're much bigger.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And the odd thing is, it's used to be Peanut was the tiny one of the two. Now Peanut is taller than Chubbs. So the who knows what's going to happen from there. So Chubbs is still heavier, but Peanut
Jessica wants to know how the Austin Powers impersonator is doing.
he's doing great. Richard Halpern, yeah, he's last I heard from him, he's healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, not wealthy, but healthy and wise. He's an actor, unless you know Jeffrey Epstein, you don't get to be rich when you're an actor. But
If you if you want to see a good impersonator, he's not an Austin Powers impersonator. He's an Elvis impersonator.
yeah.
And his name is Scott Bruce
Oh, okay.
with 2 T's. And he appeared frequently at Disneyland. And he is really good. He has a slight resemblance to Bruce Campbell. He kind of looks like a cross between Bruce Campbell and Elvis.
He should have been in the Bubba Kotep. Is that the name of the movie?
That's a really... Hey, if you guys want to watch an offbeat movie
Yeah, there you go.
that's funny and it's worth watching, it's much better than Evil Dead 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
Watch Evil Dead 1, which was really good, and watch Bubba Kahotep. Because what it is, it's Elvis is alive. And Bruce Campbell plays Elvis.
Yep.
And this guy finds him in this hotel out in the middle of nowhere. And he realizes who he is. And then Elvis convinces the guy that this Egyptian curse, with that, the scarab, that it has somehow come back and that they have to kill the scarab and get rid of the curse. I think that's the plot, but it's really a good film. I mean, it's funny. You could tell it was filmed on a very low budget, but it's good. It's worth seeing. So I highly recommend it.
It is.
If you don't want to watch Scary Movie tonight, watch that one.
And if you don't want to watch a scary movie that's still kind of weird and that kind of thing, Young Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
One of the greats. And the film was written by Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks, so you don't get better than that. And
all right, I'll tell you another little thing. If you want to see, his name is slipping me. The guy that played Igor.
Oh, Marty Feldman. Marty Feldman.
Was that Marty Feldman?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think so.
Let me look it up.
I don't think that was Marty Feldman.
Marty Feldman, actor, Young Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was confusing him with somebody else. His start, he had what's called Gray's disease.
Yeah.
Which is what caused his eyes to bug out like they did.
Yeah.
He was in an episode of the Sandy Duncan Show where he played a cat burglar that broke into her apartment.
I'm just getting scissors for my fruit snacks to open them.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm gonna open
Happy
these.
Halloween.
Okay. Aunt Melody said Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Say it again.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you, sweetie. Anyway,
Good job, Connor. Oops, he's lost in the graveyard.
Oh,
Ah,
bye.
uh-oh.
Okay, he's gone. But anyway, that was I think that was where he got his start. And it was very, very funny. Sandy Duncan, I don't know if any of you recall Sandy Duncan, but she was pretty fun. I think she's still alive, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's still alive. She was on CBS Morning Show not long
Uh,
ago with her husband, and they've been married for like 8 billion years. And
well,
she's
she had something in common with Sammy Davis Jr.
oh yeah, one eye.
Yep. They
Yeah.
both had one eye.
They had a
Well,
prosthetic in the other.
she had I think it was cancer that caused her to lose her eye.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis Jr. lost his in a car accident.
Yeah. So they and he used to do a joke about it all the time on the chat shows, talk shows. He'd like turn it one way or the. They were hard put for humor on old talk shows. They,
Except for Johnny Carson. That was
except for Johnny Carson, yeah. Things like the John Davidson show. um, believe me, they would give anybody a talk show back in the 70s.
oh look at all the talk shows they had. What was it? Marlo Thomas's husband,
Oh, Phil Donahue.
Phil Donahue. Yeah, or at least it was her husband.
Yeah.
She's still with us. That's right. She runs her dad's St.
Yeah.
Jude's
St.
thing.
Jude. Yeah. St. Jude is a wonderful hospital.
Yes.
I have a friend whose child was treated and cured at St. Jude. So, and is now 22 years old and going on to law school.
Well, we had to take Allison one time to St. Jude's when she was younger, and they did not ask. They did not ask me for money or anything else until they had her all straightened out and everything was okay before they ever asked me for a dime. And that was nice.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
kidding.
they took care of the important thing first and then worried about the money.
Exactly. Well, that's, when you're dealing with children, you damn well better because they are the future. And not to borrow any old songs, but if we don't take care of them, nobody's going to be around to take care of us. But anyway, the getting back to what we were talking about, which was the horror movies. Are there any that you wouldn't recommend?
Oh God, there's
Like most.
yeah. I would say myself, I'm really not that much into that. The current crop of actors and actresses, their political leanings, and so, I don't want to know what your politics are. I don't care. If you believe a certain way, great, good for you. But I want to see your acting ability. I don't really care about what you think of this or that. Like, for instance, I really like Pamela Verdon. You're familiar with Pamela
Yeah,
Verdon?
of course. She's
Yeah.
a former child actress. We've talked about her lots of times.
Yeah, she was in Star Trek, Plato's Children. She was in that episode of Star Trek. She did tons of stuff. She was on the Brady Bunch and things.
Now, there's
But-
a good movie she did. Let me interject real quickly because I'll forget.
Sure.
There's an old film with Raymond Massey called Daughter of the Mind or Ray Milland. I get them mixed up. Maybe Ray Milland. And Pamela Ferdin plays the ghost child in it. That's a very frightening, very good film. So,
Yeah, that is. They did a spinoff of that movie as a TV series
yeah,
starring William Wyndham.
yeah. It sucked, though.
Yeah, it was only on one season, so.
Yeah,
But we knew William Wyndham,
yeah,
so I kind of like stuff he was in because we knew him.
yeah,
He was a really nice guy.
yeah. Most of the older actors are. I mean, that you have to be of the more current crop to be a real asshole.
Well,
But
there were some. I'll tell you, just to tell the listeners and viewers, my wife and I used to do conventions. We used to sell toys. I still sell toys, just not quite on the level that we used to. Because my wife was a big part of that. Without her, it's really hard to do this by myself. So,
she was amazing.
yep. So, when we went to these conventions, they allowed you in like at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and it didn't start until 9 or 10. And what they would do, the biggest one we did was held at the Pasadena Convention Center on Green Street. And that's where they used to hold the Star Trek convention. So it's a big place. So they used to divide the building in half, and half of it would be tables with actors signing autographs, and the other half would be people like me selling stuff. So early in the morning, when the actors would get there, they would set up, all they had to do was throw their portfolio with pictures on the table and find somebody to watch their purse for them or, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they would wander around the tables with the dealers. So we got to meet all the actors and talk to them just casually. And it was fun. And some of them were great people. Walter Koenig, he played Chekhov on Star Trek. Real nice fella. And we met him in doing the toy shows because he was a toy collector. And we met him, Malcolm McDowell,
Yeah,
Jonathan Winters,
very nice man.
Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr made them close the toy show down and get everybody out of the building before she would go in.
Well, screw her.
Jonathan Winters didn't do that. Jonathan Winters came in. They had a microphone in the snack bar areas so they could call in people's orders and tell people when their orders were ready. And he went in there and got a hold of that microphone and put on a show for like a half hour.
Well, you put on a private show for Bev and Allison.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. But the funny thing is he had a little problem. And when he would be in character, you had to call him that character. If you called him Jonathan Winters or Jonathan or Mr. Winters, he would get mad. So one time he came to the show and he was dressed like a hunter. And he had a name tag that said his name, and that's what he wanted you to call him. Was what was on that name tag. And he had the hunter hat, the whole schmear on. And he was literally mad because they wouldn't let him bring a shotgun in with him.
No.
So I can't understand why they wouldn't let me bring my shotgun. It didn't have any bullets in it.
Yeah, it didn't work that way.
And I saw the guy that ran the show, and he was, Mr. Winters, I'm sorry, I understand that but by law, we can't allow you to walk around here with a shotgun.
It's funny that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but we met Linda Blair, sweetest woman you'd ever want to meet.
and the queen
She
of the horror movies.
she turns all of her money over to animal cruelty things. Not to promote animal cruelty. No, it's
No, no,
anti-animal cruelty.
animal cruelty.
But what I was going to say about Pamela Vernon is she has gotten so preachy
Yeah.
on her group that people are just not reading them anymore.
Yeah.
I understand that she believes in being vegan and she doesn't drink milk. Happy Halloween, Kim.
Happy Halloween, Kim. And yeah, I know. Well, it's
Just, if you feel a certain way, that's fine. I mean, you have every right to believe in whatever way you wish to believe. But don't preach.
no.
That's what you don't need. Don't preach.
I mean, everybody has their own opinions, and yeah, I like the vegetarians and vegans, similar to Mr. McCartney, who, when his old friend George saw him walk in and said, "Oh, here's my vegetarian friend Paul wearing a leather jacket," and Paul's reply was, "Ha ha ha." So it's important to have a sense of humor about everything. And
Yeah, there was somebody that I know who was.
Just getting some more scissors. Or some,
Hang on. What, Connor?
just opening.
Oh, you need some more cutting? Okay. Here, I'll hold the top part. Okay, you got it.
yeah.
He's cutting open a piece of candy.
Oh, that's the important stuff right now.
Yep. Oops.
But the anyway, as we were saying,
Yeah, and somebody I know somebody was talking to her and said, "Oh, so you're a vegetable?" I said, "No, I'm not a vegetable. I'm a vegetarian." Oh, I thought it was the same thing.
yeah, no. Well, I was watching an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis this morning, and she commented. I don't know if everybody's seen this movie. It's really, I loved it. Everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. And she plays Deidre, who's an incredible character in this film. So that's another recommendation. If you don't like street horror, that's a good film to watch. It's still
All right.
very interesting.
I'll recommend another movie.
Yeah.
It's called Vibes.
Okay.
A lot of people haven't seen it.
I believe I've heard of it.
It starred,
We have
Cyndi
five
Lau-
people.
it starred Cyndi Lauper, Jeff Goldblum,
Right.
and this is like almost teenage Jeff Goldblum. This is a very young Jeff Goldblum. And Peter Falk
Oh, yeah. Okay.
is also in it. And that chubby guy he played a gay Frenchman. He was some foreigner, and he was in a restaurant or something in Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
Oh, that was the other one we were trying to think of. The guy that was in the Stephen King series, The Stand. And he also was in that a comedy TV series where he played Belky
Oh,
or Balky.
Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah, well, he was in Beverly Hills Cop. That was one of his first things.
Right. Yeah.
Remember, he was selling the guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from what I've heard, he does a home remodeling show now.
Oh,
And
well, we knew his brother at the toy show. His brother sells antique toys, so
ah,
we had a table next to his brother, and he's the one that got Allison the autographed picture of him because
oh,
Allison liked that show.
yeah. Good for her. I must say, my niece is the #1 Killer Clown from Outer Space fan,
She
and
has an autographed picture with all of the actors except Vernon Maxwell
yep,
because he was dead by the time
yeah.
Allison saw the movie.
But
He played the cop, the old cop.
yeah, I once got her a autographed picture of all the people who were on Caroline in the City.
Oh, cool.
You can sell that for like $1.50 now.
Well, none of the actors that were in Killer Clouds from Outer Space were anybody special except Vernon Maxwell and Royal Dano.
Well, they're also the film itself is a cult favorite, though.
Yeah,
So
well, we met the Chiodo brothers
yeah,
also when we were at the convention. They had all the heads
yeah,
from the Killer Clouds costumes, and they had the critters. Remember critters?
yeah.
The Chiodo brothers did critters too.
Hmm.
They did another one recently. I can't remember the name of it.
They do a lot of cult inspiring films. They're one of that small class that they're not majorly wealthy, but they certainly make a very good living.
They can draw down enough support to make their movies.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all you need, really. The I have friends who do that kind of thing now, and of course now with all of the video technology available to everybody, there are a lot more small independent
Oh
film
yeah,
companies than ever before. But but they can't all afford a red digital camera. But
well, our cheapest camera for the camera body is $10,000. That's the Komodo. And our number one camera, I think, is like $60,000 to $70,000.
oh
But
well,
it's an 8K camera. I mean, you can literally make a big screen motion picture with this camera.
there
It
you
will
go.
upscale to that size screen with perfect quality.
And you won't have to remaster it.
Right. You have to buy. You can hook your phone up to it so you can see on your, which will save you having to buy the video screen part.
Yeah.
But you still have to buy lenses, but if you've got Canon lenses, you can buy the adapter and it will hold your Canon lenses.
Yeah, there you go.
I inspect all of these things, so
Yes, Mark is a senior engineer over at Red Digital, and and I'm a writer, which is why I live in Lancaster, and he lives in the vicinity of Los Angeles. But that's okay. That's not really because of that reason. We moved out here because my husband's job was out here. So.
yes.
But anyway, the other horror movies, I like the original Salem Lot quite a bit, with the series. But
I forget who was in that. Somebody that was really miscast.
David Soul.
Okay. I knew there was somebody who was like, what is that guy doing in that movie?
Yeah, that was another Ray Milland role in that. He played the
Wasn't he in Rosemary's Baby? Didn't he
might
play her? I think he played her father
yeah, I've
in
never seen
Rosemary's Baby.
the
Never
Ray.
seen that?
No,
That's a scary movie.
yeah, I'm sure it is. I just have, for whatever reason, I've never seen it. It's I've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I saw it. I saw the sequel
Yeah.
to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the funny thing is it had Paris Hilton in it.
Oh my God! If you need a reason, see it.
She was one of the young people that was running from the chainsaw guy. So they're all hiding behind a car, and there's this one scene where somebody throws a spear and it goes right through her head. And everybody cheered. So I saw it with Allison at the movie theater, and everybody in the movie theater stood up and applauded when she got the spear through her head.
You know, if not for anything but those poor little poodles that 4 minutes. Okay. Well, we're coming up. We're drawing down the event. I hope you're all having a wonderful Halloween weekend. And
Melody, stay on after we go off. I want to tell you something.
will do.
Okay.
And we have had an amazing year in many ways. And
Amazing would be the word for it, I'll tell you.
yeah. In the terms of the Chinese curse. I have had a couple questions, so let me answer. Larry is fine. He went through that. It's so weird because he was supposed to be there at 6 a.m. The thing started at 8 a.m. They told me it was going to be 3 to 4 hours. I got a phone call from his nurse at 9:30 a.m. saying he's all done. Like, what? And she said he has no blocks, he has no narrowing, he has no signs of heart disease. Really? So he's doing great. He's no active, but he's doing great. He's happy, he's healthy, and he's got that behind him. So.
And just, I will not be here next week.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Next Sunday, I will be on the high seas.
Yes, and not the drink because it's
No.
in metal and it's awful.
I don't think they have high sea anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I just
We're
aged
actually
myself.
going on a Disney cruise.
Connor, I'm still on the podcast for another 2 minutes.
I was just reminding you that we're actually going on Disney cruise, not the high seas.
Yes, Connor, we're going on the Disney cruise. Connor
We're
is
on
very
a Disney
happy.
cruise.
Yes.
And may I say happy birthday, brother? I love
Thank you, dear.
You're doing very well, and let's hope the next year is much better than the last two have been.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. So all of you have a great holiday, and remember, there has never been a case of children being poisoned by Halloween candy.
I have seen the thing now. It's this fentanyl or
Yeah.
fentanyl where, they're going to give little kids. Nobody's going to do that.
No.
If you want to play it safe, make sure the candy is packaged.
Exactly. That's
know,
all you need to do.
Just make sure it's packaged candy. I have never heard of anybody doing that. So
It's only happened once, and the father is the one who poisoned them, and
Yeah,
the
so-
children still survived. So
yep. So happy Halloween, everybody! It's time for us to go. It's time for us to go. So I will see you in 2 weeks. Melody will see you next week.
With Tam.
Or like there. I always point the wrong way because
I do too.
if you point where you think, see now this is actually pointed away from Melody.
Yeah, same
but
thing here.
So
Anyway.
take care. We gotta go.